Hello, hello. Nice to have you back with Thomas Turner Fishing Antiques. Today I've put together a small collection of oddball twisting foot casting reels. Now the issue since time began really was casting a small weight or a float a reasonable distance on the heavier lines that were available in the 17th, 18th and 19th centuries. Lines were not like they are today with microfine monofilament. They were often horsehair, cord, linen, string, whatever you like. So it was very difficult to cast long distance on a very narrow spool or a drum type reel. So around the 1880s period, there was a whole bunch of efforts made to allow the reel so the spool turns forward. If you imagine casting off the drum this way, there's only a limited amount of line before you get a tangle. If you face the drum that way, then it peels off the front of the drum and therefore you'll be able to cast easier. What that has done is it's brought to the market a very mixed bag of twisting foot reels. Probably the most common that we see is this. These are all tagged up because they're on the website. Is this the Malik side casting reel? Very simple. Clicky wind to turn in, twist the foot, the line casts off very easy, twist it back, rotate. The spool comes off and reverses, so in the case of fishing perhaps a Devon minnow which spins and twists the line, by reversing the spool it untwists. So that is the ultimate solution to casting light lines. Most other manufacturers had a go at it because Malik's patent lasted for, I think at that point, 25 years. It was into the 1920s before anybody could directly copy it. But in the meantime, a whole load of other real efforts came out, which makes it very interesting for the collector to pick up these what I call oddball variants. If we start at the bottom of the range, this is unnamed. Initially, I thought it was a homemade reel, an engineer-made reel. It's made very well, but it's not. I've since found there's another couple of them around. So it's a production reel of some sort. It's extremely heavy. It's certainly not a lightweight reel. It's no different in real terms from the Malik Sidecaster. It doesn't have a casting eye, whatever that means. It doesn't actually act as a level wind, but you see very few of them around. This may be £50, it may be £100, I don't know, something like that. But it's a curiosity, interesting thing. This is a Stephenson patent tournament casting reel. Same principle. The foot turns, so imagine mounted the rod this way, twist, the line comes off easy, twist, wind it back. These come in a variety of crank winds, which is an S-shaped crank, and they come with a plate wind, sometimes alloy, sometimes brass. So you've got 4 or 5 variants to collect. Money's up on these. These are in the hundreds, mid-hundreds. So if you say £300 to £500 for a rare example. Never seen a boxed one. Malik's, anywhere between 80 to 200 plus for the tiny, tiny little brass models, especially those in all brass. Unusual ones again. Top of the market, little Farlow reel, twisting turntable. It's on a spring lock system. Great little piece of kit. Tiny, tiny little reel. Even against the smallest Malik, 2 5/8 measuring there, it's teeny. So it holds hardly any line. So although it'll cast a light lure a long distance, it's clearly not meant for salmon fishing. So this is a teeny little trout model. Price, £1,000 to £1,500. So that's up there. Somewhere in the middle, Hardy's in the 1930s made this reel called the Match Fisher. Sits on that way, the foot twists to cast. Issue with it is the drum is very deep, it's very narrow, so it doesn't actually cast that far. These have gone up and down in price, anywhere between £500 and £1,000. It was only made for a couple of years, so it's a rare thing, very interesting. This is in reasonable condition. This is on our website at the moment. A couple of light bits of blotching on there, but otherwise mechanically it's 100%. And in the middle of it all, I've never seen one of these before. This is a Sims patent tournament casting reel. It has a button press on it to release a spool and turn it. Exact same principle as everything else on the table here. Because of its rarity, it's worth something. Because of its condition, it's downgraded with some chips on it. So it's in the few £100 bracket. But what an interesting collection put together. And there must be hundreds of different variants of this type of reel. So a good collecting route for anybody. Whether you've got a few pounds, you've got a lot of pounds, it's a great lot to collect. And that's it. So all on the website, they're all listed. I'm down to my second last jelly baby. So if you come back in a few minutes, we'll do the last one. Cheers.